This could be the biggest day in the history of in-state recruiting for Illinois football as they land two Chicago area studs, athlete, wide receiver, defensive back, basketball player Nasir Rankin, and defensive tackle king Liggins commit to Illinois. Coach Bielema, it is a huge, huge day for a program that continues to ascend. 8 wins in 2023, 10 wins last year, and now currently sitting on a top 10 recruiting class, even after the sting of losing cornerback Victor Singleton. They continue to add major players. So start with Nasir Rankin. What does this mean? 5'11 and a half, 180 pounds, Morgan Park High School, Chicago, number 11 athlete in America. I think that's low. This guy's got offers from all over the country. Football-wise, he beat out programs like USC, Oregon, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Missouri, Michigan. Hoops, he's got offers from Illinois, which he'll play both sports, potentially both ways, Northern Illinois, Eastern Illinois, and Grambling State. You look at the stats. We're going to jump in the film here in a second. 23.2 points per game, 3.3 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 8th in Illinois in scoring. That's basketball. Switch to the football side. He's 40 catches, 991 yards, almost 25 yards per catch. Dynamic player, 12 touchdowns, also carried the ball 110 times, and is a two-way player. In 2023, he had 6 INTs. Sometimes this guy was such an athlete. He'd play a football game on Friday and then immediately go to an AAU tournament. So this guy is a complete stud. Let's take a look at the film to see what we are getting here with Nasir Rankin at Illinois. So this is junior film. And again, this guy's a basketball player. He's a defensive back, and he could also do this at wide receiver. See him explode off the line. He's verified at 5'11 and a half, 180. So the size, you could feel good that is what it is. But here we go. You see the quarterback kind of buying some time here, letting it go. Once this guy gets the ball in his hands, he kind of reminds me of Luther Burden, who just got drafted in the second round coming out of Missouri, has that same sort of running back body, that same quickness, that same athletic ability. He does so much. A lot of times with basketball players, you look at them as guys who go over the top and kind of rebound the ball. But this is a guy who does it with the ball in his hands. That's how athletic he is. Again, 6 INTs on defense. Illinois told him, not only can you play wide receiver, you can play defensive back like Travis Hunter, and you can play basketball. I mean, might as well ask him to call plays on offense, sell popcorn, and teach a class in psychology because he is doing everything for Illinois. There you see nice movement on the routes, plucks the ball, man. It's a hands catch going over the middle and finishes with strength. His body strength is something that stands out to me. This is not just some skinny guard. This guy has size. Look at that one-handed catch, man. That is unbelievable stickiness in his hands. Then you say, okay, red zone. That's usually where basketball players shine. What's he going to do? Adjust to the ball, full extension, stays in bounds. This is high 4-star tape. I know that industry, everybody has him as a 4-star. The industry is not as high as 247. I lean to the 247 ranking. I just love multi-sport players, multi-sport athletes. You look at the wide receivers drafted in this year's NFL draft, almost, I'd say, over 65% of them played basketball in high school. And this guy played at the absolute highest levels and probably the best basketball city in the United States. There you see again, over the middle, hands catch. A lot of times, like I said earlier, these basketball highlight reels or these football highlight reels for a basketball kid, it's all just kind of getting rebounds, right? And doing that part like an Antonio Gates. This guy does all that stuff, but he also has just that incredible athletic ability and with the ball in his hands. There you see the basketball rebounding stuff we were talking about, going up and getting it. So he has that in his bag. But look at this. Catches a cool little dig route. Boom, gets upfield, making guys miss, showing off the speed. I mean, this is a supreme athlete. Then he's got some strength there to finish there at the end. You look at Illinois and what they've done at the receiving core, guys like Pat Bryant. You talk about, Zachary Franklin, Isaiah Williams, Casey Washington. This is a program that produces big-time wide receivers, poised to have a big season in the air this year with Luke Altmaier returning. So no surprise that they're able to land a guy like this. Look, if he wants to play defensive back, like another former basketball player, a guy named Devin Witherspoon, top 10 pick, one of the best corners in the NFL, maybe that's the way to go for him. He certainly has the size to get it done and the speed. But I'm a huge, huge fan of what this guy brings to the table. Switching gears here as we go to the other position That is defensive tackle with the addition of King Liggins, 6'2", 285 from Brother Rice, three-star number 21 player in Illinois, Rutgers, Virginia Northwestern, all on this guy. He's also a wrestler and a lot of leadership with this guy. You hear his head coach say the first thing that they're getting at Illinois is a leader. King Liggins will be a captain at whatever university he's going to. That's what he was when he entered Brother Rice as a freshman, as he climbed through the ranks. That's who he always has been. They are getting a leader. So another guy, let's just pull up the tape here. Before we even get to the tape of him as a football player, look at this guy in the weight room, man. This guy is an absolute monster. Here we go. Let's check it out here with King Liggins. There we go. I'll go find this before I had it saved here, but we'll go and find it anyways. Take a look at King Liggins, what he deadlifting 645 pounds 3 times, new PR. Look at this beast, man. You can tell the team's fired up. That's cool to see. So the weight room there is there. You also like to see what he does, on the basketball court, or sorry, on the football court, football field, man. All these sports are getting me confused. On the football field. So let's take a look at that here as we dig in to the junior highlights for King Liggins, as he uses that wrestling background. Again, there's a program, look at the receiver history and the defensive back history. The defensive line history is not too shabby either. Look at Jerzon Newton from the Sunshine State, ends up going in that top 50 to Washington. Look at the quickness of this guy, the ability to line up inside, outside. You see the wrestling kind of balance and ability to move guys, and of course the tackling. This guy, to me, fits in with what they like to do, just with his quickness, with his low center of gravity. And it's so good for them to get guys from Chicago. Yeah, I think back to a couple of years ago when Marquise Lightfoot and Justin Scott, 2 5-star defensive linemen from the Chicago area, signed with the University of Miami. There was a little back and forth with Coach Bielema and Mario Cristobal, right, about Miami going into Chicago and all that. Illinois, for one, has gone into Florida and landed a ton of elite players there. So they do work on the other side as well, but then keeping the home court protected here by landing these 2 players from Chicago. Again, look at the balance and the wrestling skill here of King Liggins. So this, to me, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw this, is all that trash talk a couple of years ago. Now you're seeing the top Chicago prospects go to Miami, go to Illinois, not go to, instead of Miami. You look at, when Bielema first got here, and I've said this in a million ways, I apologize. When he first got there, he called Mark Rounds of the Illinois High School Football Coaches Association, called hundreds of high school coaches just to kind of show that they were in-state priority. First 2 years, I had 20 in-state prospects. So they've been doing work in Illinois and building to this. And then the top 100 draft picks, 8 of them in 4 years, a huge number, including top 10 pick like Devin Witherspoon. So they're showing that they can produce real deal athletes, real deal NFL prospects. When you show that you can do that, you are able to land players like this, elite dudes, top-notch individuals. Again, King Liggins, you see just that wrestling. I don't know if he's as quick as a guy like Newton, but it's that ability to just stay stout and move guys and not get moved yourself. That's going to benefit him in the Big Ten as teams try to run the ball, like Minnesota, talk about Minnesota, or even at the higher level, the Michigans and the Ohio States. They're going to try to run the ball. A guy like this who can hold his own, play a little bit above his size, just because of that wrestling background and that leverage, does you quite a bit of good. Here you see him shading over the center, holds the point, gets off, makes a tackle. So big day for Illinois. I'm here in Champaign County, as you can see, on the creeks here in this beautiful area. So like and subscribe to this show. We got a ton of Illinois content. You can check the archives. We got pretty much their whole class did videos for them and the work they've done in the portal. Big fans of what Coach Bielema is doing. Like and subscribe. More videos coming your way if you're into Illinois football and transactions in general.